Some fun stuff, dude. How about this?
Mm.
SML in the Deal Brothers race car, bro. This
How
thing,
good does that look?
they're talking like 1,000 more horsepower and 600 pounds less weight. This
How?
dude, episode 132 of the Drag Driver Pete Show, presented by Summit Racing. Dude, this car held the Super Street, holds the Super Street record. Man, looking at that front setup though, I like surely that's still Super Street legal. We'll have to ask them. They are going to be at the booth at some point during the weekend. I need to get that locked in tomorrow. This thing's gonna be nuts, man. They're talking like 3,500 horsepower.
That is insane.
It's so gorgeous, man. Look at how nice that looks.
Yeah, look at the turbo placements too.
Yeah, just perfection, man. And it's really sad what happened to that car. We're so glad that nothing happened to David and he wasn't hurt in any way at the wreck at Drag Week. I mean, it's crazy to think how fast they went on that setup. They'd been in deep into the sixes with it, and now, I mean, dang, like we're going to see way deeper. Like 680s. Now we're going to see. They're talking like 640 type stuff. Yeah. Bring it on. Bring it on. And these guys, if you're not following Deal Brothers Racing, there's something wrong with you. They helped set up the Boostmaster for radials. They put all the final touches on the better half Camaro of Steve Morris's. I mean, like, these guys are next level builders, and I think this car is going to show it now that they have that opportunity to really go down and build it. So it'll be interesting. These guys, they don't know quit, and they work on a different timetable than I think anybody else does. I think they have 40 hours in a single day, where everybody else just has 24. These guys get stuff done in a level that you can't understand. So maybe we'll see this car at PRI. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm just looking at zooming in on those pictures and trying to see. I need to redo the turbo mounts on mine, and I love how they just have those sitting there. It's just giving me ideas.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, those guys have they're just awesome. Tell us what's going on with this dude.
Yeah, so we talked a little bit about this on Saturday, but Nick Taylor obviously drives the red, white, and blue third gen Camaro. He is in Bradenton running a pro mod this week. So you can see the picture there for those watching live on the right. Black, I think it's a Camaro, right? Oh, that is, yeah, with the green stripe on it.
Firebird. It may be a Firebird body, actually.
Okay, but big blower out the top of it, and I think this is his first time driving something like this, and this is going to be super exciting for him. Obviously, he's plenty talented enough to be able to handle this, but it's going to be a tough field to try to get into.
Well, and what's wild to me is like this car belongs to a guy named Pete Norton. Pete debuted this car with us at the Funny Car Nationals with Midwest Drag Race Series, and Nick Taylor is on and driving this car this week. I don't know if they're just shakedown testing, stuff like that. But so Nick Taylor has that. And then also Pete Norton was featured in the Winter Series, things like this with our picture from Drag Illustrated. So I don't know if maybe Pete's bought a second car. I don't know if they're both in the same car and Nick's doing shakedown runs, and then we'll try and qualify and they'll both be in the same car. But man, that'd be tough, a tough turnaround in the same round. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm really excited for Nick. We've known him for a long time. Met him on, I think it was Race Week 2.0 2021 when they drove straight from Drag Week through Indiana, through head gaskets in the Mustang, and then came out to Rocky Mountain Race, or to Race Week 2.0. I think that was 2020. Met him then, and dude, crazy. This dude is a crazy man. Oh, 1,000 dent here says Norton is in a different car. Wow. Interesting. That's pretty exciting because look,
it has a flat hood, which means there's a blower sticking out of it.
Yeah, so if he's in that, then that means he's probably in a turbo or a Pro Charger car. That's pretty interesting. Cool. Well, I'll have to look that up. I don't think I heard Pete Norton make a pass today when I was watching the NC Pro Modder live stream, but I know Nick posted up that his pass on what's today, Wednesday, his pass on Tuesday, and it looked great. I mean, if anybody can cut a light in a car, it's Nick, and if anybody can drive a car, it's Nick, because he's done so much stuff with everything that he's got, over the years that he's done and everything. Man, this is a big deal. We're seeing so many. It's hard to say people grow up. But dude, think about that. I mean, this guy was like street racing, and YouTube channel. Now he's like building products, and Tommy Dupree, great point here. Another awesome brand, Nikki Bobby Inc. NBI. They're with all the long travel stuff on summitracing.com and on nickybobby.com. It's just really cool, man, to see guys that we followed for a long time. I mean, 5 or 6 years now we followed him, and here we are. They've been on the podcast, they've told stories, and to now be sitting in some of these pro mods are $500,000. Like this
Right.
isn't something that's this isn't a 10-second streetcar that's been given to him to go out and make passes in. This is a big deal. So good luck to Nick this week, man. I can't wait, and I'm sure we'll see him next week at PRI, and we'll get some stories and all that kind of cool stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Right. Performa Built Transmissions is the official transmission builder of Drag Drive Repeat. At Performa Built Transmissions, their goal is to engineer and build the toughest transmissions on the planet. Performa Built doesn't just rebuild transmissions, they systematically re-engineer each model to eliminate OEM flaws and to achieve the highest levels of performance. That is why they say their transmissions are not just built, they are Performa Built.
Yep, love Ryan and the team up there. And then one of the biggest stories that's probably progressing in all of Facebook right now, as we speak, literally, BTR has been sold. There's a group of us, a small chat group that this was going off earlier. I had to take Facebook off of my computer screen because it was just nonstop, right? This is a big deal within the community. So you guys have heard Doug Cook talk about private equity and all that kind of stuff. So I have some more research to do, but essentially Brian Tooley Racing has been acquired by Burnout Brands, a private equity firm that owns other performance brands, Monster Transmissions, some kind of other performance, like 2 or 3 other performance companies. It really has sparked a ton of controversy just in the last 2 or 3 hours before we even started this. So I can only imagine what it's doing now. It's probably blowing up like crazy. Michael Tooley replied in a comment, said that we aren't going anywhere, guys, because that was the first thing. When do you close? Do we need to buy parts now? He said we're not going anywhere. We're building an 83,000 square foot building for incoming growth and new products. He said Brian will remain president of the company and will spearhead product development. It's all in-house production will remain. So I thought that was pretty cool for those guys. I mean, those guys are in there making those comments instead of hiding somewhere, which is always a huge win.
Yeah, and then Brian Tooley himself was commenting. He said, to answer one question, the employees owned over 90% of the stock in BTR. We just helped 70 people someday retire, which is pretty awesome. Oh, and I'm still president.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So obviously you begin putting feelers out and talking to people and stuff like that. And one of the folks we talked to said that it was a vote by the employees and the majority voted to sell. So, that who knows? I mean, Brian didn't make that decision. It was a group of 70 people, sounds like, voting on that to make that decision. And the person we talked to also corroborated the stories above that Brian's still going to be in charge. What's interesting to me is like how this lines up with because what Doug Cook talks about all the time is penny loafer folks, right? And everybody knows that's not what we need in race cars and drag and drive and all that kind of and drag racing is some folks that are just pinching pennies and looking at numbers. So of course, in the 8 minutes before the show or 10 minutes before the show, I was digging around to find out this company is this PE firm, who their owners are, all the stuff that's in there. Some of those dudes do look a little penny loafery style. Like one of those guys has a house somewhere on a beach where other rich people hang out. I'm telling you, I can just feel it. But there are folks that have worked in the automotive industry as far as C-level, chairman or vice president type stuff at other big companies like Advanced Auto Parts, some of the other, I can't remember the names off the top of my head, but I'm going to do some more research tomorrow and put out an article because what's interesting to me is when you have a company like BTR, it's not just a manufacturer of stuff, right? That's not some company that's turning out 12,000 ball joints or 12,000 control arms or I don't know what all the little normal shit that it's just a simple manufacturing company. Like BTR isn't that in my opinion. Now they're a manufacturer, obviously they're putting 83,000 square feet of stuff out. But when you have a company or a PE firm, I guess, go in and look at a company like this, what's their plan? What's their goal? Can they take the other companies that they work with, that they own, and can they team all of that up to make everything better. Now, when you say that, that immediately makes me think, okay, well, that means people are getting cut because they're going to have some efficiencies in there. Like for 4 companies, you don't necessarily need 4 office managers. Maybe you just need 2. And again, that is when people get let go and all that kind of stuff. It's really interesting. I'm ready to see how this plays out because we know Doug Cook is going to have a field day with this. Sadly, that's what's going to happen. But I would like to know, and I'll dig deeper again. I'm going to spend a little bit of time on this tomorrow just because I'm interested in it to see who in the overall PE company, I think it's like Hidden Acres or some shit like that, that own this. I'm going to go in and see because there's a guy, I mean, obviously in the 12 seconds I looked, this guy right here, hang on, I put it in here, Phil Cushman. Like, I mean, he was the president at NEPCO, which is New England Auto Parts, New England Auto Products Company. He was a C-level position at Kurt Group, which does all the hitches and stuff like that. Like, I don't think, and maybe it's just this level of folks that work in the group, but like GM has a performance line. Like maybe there's a bunch of car people that are working over here. I don't know. I do like that Brian Tooley is still going to be in charge. That helps a lot. And based on what we've seen, everybody's staying in place for right now. So who knows? I don't know. I hope this is good. I just know that they're fixing to get drug hard. So.
As long as they don't get rid of the better call Paul.
Yeah, better call Paul.
Keep the slogan.
And hey, listen, Holly Rops works there. She's got the Artemis drag and drive car. They did 3 events this year. Hey, we don't need anything going on with them people. I'll drive a truck right through the front door of that place. So good luck to everybody at BTR. I hope this is a good thing. I know he's going to have a ton of backlash on this, but again, it goes back. This was voted on by the people in the company. This was voted on by the employees. In 2018, he sold it to the employees. They owned 90% of the company, and they voted to sell it. So it just, hey, that's the way it goes. Maybe everybody got a check, so I don't know. Pretty interesting. I know we don't typically talk about this kind of stuff on Drag Drive Repeat, but obviously a company that's so involved with drag and drive around the country. I mean, there's tons and tons and tons of people that run BTR stuff. They support different brands and events around the world with their brands. So I don't know. Fingers crossed, man. We want to see you stay.
Yes, sir.
If I got to go find Phil Cushman. Come on, bro. We gotta get some race car stuff in there.
Yeah. Meet me at a Waffle House.
Yeah. Hey, listen, if anybody in that company has been to a Waffle House, they're my people. Thanks again to Ryan for all the support he's given us this year. I love that dude. If you guys aren't following Performer Built Transmissions on YouTube, what are you doing with your life? You would know how to rebuild transmissions if you watched his stuff. There's a school. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. There's a school that uses his YouTube videos as curriculum for performance builds and transmissions. Like, get it right, man. Come on. The quickest 4L60 in the world's gone 780s. 4L60, bro. Come on. Yeah. Get out of here. All right, man. Lead us out.
All right. Well, we're a little early tonight, but we've got a lot of PRI prep to do. So being that this is our pre-PRI show, we're gonna wrap this up a little bit early so we can finish our PRI prep. Again, appreciate everybody in the comments tonight. We had a ton of comments tonight. It was very, very good. Lots of people chatting with each other in there, making comments to us. I love it. Again, thank you, you guys. You guys are our race car friends. If you guys weren't out there doing events like Raj doing 4 events this year, we wouldn't have stuff to talk about. So again, we appreciate each and every one of you. And I said it earlier, I can't wait to see all of our race car friends at PRI here in 1 week from tonight. And again, our sponsors, they make all this possible. Obviously, we wouldn't even be able to put on Drag and Drive Awards at PRI if it wasn't for Summit Racing. We wouldn't be able to have a booth there. We wouldn't be able to do all the things we did, attending all the events we attended, taking all the photos that we did, everything we do. Again, between our race car friends and our sponsors, that's what makes all this possible. So again, if you guys are doing any shopping, please check out these companies. If you need any contacts or anything, let us know. But again, thank you to Summit Racing Equipment, Deechworks, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cam, J-Wire Solution, AFCO Racing Products, Performer Built Transmission, Car Chains 3D, Power Tube TV, WAF Racing, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk. Are we having a show on this weekend prior to PRI?
Probably Sunday. We've got a cheer competition on Saturday, and I've got just a ton of stuff lined up with the family after that because we'll be gone for almost a week. So probably Sunday morning for a little bit, 30, 40 minutes, just kind of giving everybody a rundown of where all of our friends are going to be, all that stuff. And then also teasing, what we're dropping at PRI 2025 at the end of the Dragon Drive Awards show.
Yeah, we still have stuff
We're
that's
going to
going
the
to be
next level.
surprises. We still
Yeah,
got some surprises.
going to the next level, dude. I can't wait. I'm excited. We'll see all you guys very soon.
Yep, we'll see you this weekend right before we head to PRI.
Sweet.